We are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. It is URC time. It is Saturday. It is rugby time. It is time to get the weekend going. And our first stop for today is Emirates Airline Park, or Airs Park for the traditionalists, where the Lions will be hosting their arch nemesis, the Bulls, the URC Derby, as they've come to call it over the years. And ironically, a match which in maybe not necessarily in the last 18 months, but before then has been a match that the Lions have been able to win more often than not in the last sort of 5-10 years. So it has been quite interesting how they've managed to sort of start matching up with the Bulls, but very different Lions side, a very different Bulls side. The last 18 months we have seen a huge growth within the Bulls setup and a bit of a nosedive from the Lions, who have lost so many players that they really struggled to replace, and are now sitting with a very young side who are, I think, still trying to sort of find their way, really. But yeah, it's a spirited side. There's a lot of spirit in this Lions side, a lot of talented youngsters, and the Bulls side, which have the luxury of doing a lot of rotation. So we're going to talk about the teams in a moment, but the Bulls have been able to rotate quite a lot. The Lions, they don't have that. They don't have that depth. You know, they don't have the luxury of being able to change their team on a week-to-week basis, and which is why they made the decision that they're going to split their teams for Currie Cup and URC. But the Bulls have very much got the opportunity and the privilege of being able to rotate a lot. So if you look at their team today, you know, we've got they've got two Springboks coming off the bench in the front row. You've got a Springbok capped halfback combination. You know, you've got a lot of Springbok players across the squad. Whereas you look at the Lions, and no current Springbok squad members in the entire Lions setup at the moment, and only a handful. It's Ruan Dreyer and Willem Alberts, really, and Jack Creel, who are actually Springbok capped at all. So it's just not quite the same sort of situation. But yeah, look, it's time for the Lions to stand up, and I think the biggest problem is the late change for the Lions, which I think is going to be a bit of a disaster. Is the lineouts with PJ Boerter now starting after an injury has ruled out Jakob Asaki. And as a result, Morné Brandon's come onto the bench. But so if we look at the Lions side for today, it's Steve Tole, PJ Boerter, Carly Sadi, Ruben Skuman, Willem Alberts, Jack Creel, Emmanuel Tutuka, and Franco Horn. The halfback combination is Andre Warner and Fred Zeilinger. The back line is Raz Baklana, Berger Unda inside centre, Wanasila Similani outside centre, Edwin van der Merwe at number 14, and then Evia Fulyon at full back. Off the bench for the Lions, we will see Morné Brandon, Morgan Nordier, the young loose head from Pumas, and then Ruan Dreyer, tight head. And they're going with a 6-2 split. So they're going to have Ruan Venter, the youngster, and then the rest of the bench is, I've just gone completely blank, Ruan Strowley and Sibusiso Sangweni, and then you've got Morné Brandon and Morné van den Berg and Tian Swanepoel as your other places. But I just want to check though, because I think there was rumors of a couple of late changes. So I'm just trying to see if I can find confirmation of those. Because yeah, as I said, Saki was supposed to be playing, but isn't there now. I'm seeing Yanni Duplessis out there. I'm not sure if I'm actually seeing Ruan Dreas. There is Ruan Dreas. I think Yanni Duplessis is just there to run around with the boys, but we'll see. For the Bulls, though, I'm just bringing up their side now because they made a lot of changes. So I'd almost know it, but they do change a lot to the Bulls. So it's sometimes difficult to remember exactly who's playing this week. But here we go. So the Bulls, unless there have been any late changes, are as follows. It goes to Pierre Mantanzima, the young loose head, Johan Kobala, Jacques Van Rooyen, Wals Dianka, Bruno Kia, Marcel Garcia, Arno Boerter, Albert Lowe. What a pack. I mean, it's an incredible pack. And for me, I said the Lions are going to be very problematic. I think the only set piece the Lions can really focus on is their scrummaging, because that is something that they have been pretty good at over the last sort of 12 months. The backline for the Bulls, Ambrose Pierre, Morné Steyn, a wealth of experience there. Madosh Tambwe is at 11, so he's now an out-and-out finisher. And I thought he had a bit of a hard start to the game last year, playing against his former side, as is Harold Forster and Lionel Pooh, as well as Jacques Van Rooyen, I suppose. And then you've got Kenan Moody, who's on URC debut, the number 14 jersey, and Kirtley Aronsa will be looking to counter-attack from fullback. Off the bench for the Bulls, it's Bismarck Du Plessis, it's Lizo Koboka, it's Robert Hunt, it's Janko Swanepoel, Mulle Ace, Isaac Berger, Chris Smith, and David Creel. So I mean, on paper, you got to back the Bulls, don't you? It's got to be the Bulls on paper because they've got all the players, they've got all the stars. But never write off this young line side because they've got it. They find a way of attacking. For me, it all comes down to the defense because I think that on the attack, the Lions offer quite a lot. When they've got possession, when they've got front foot ball, I think they can take on the best of any teams. But it's when it's on the defense that really sort of worries me as a Lions fan because I think defensively the system is a bit porous at times. But yeah, we'll see. We shall see. What are we thinking? We've got a poll running in the comments. At the moment, the Bulls are winning 77% of the votes, saying that they'll win the clash. But look, as the Lions are always going to back my boys. It's it's an important game for the Lions because they need to start showing something. There's no Vince Tuka, so they are missing their best player. I will say he's their best player by a country mile. We've got a very nice warm-up shirt, by the way. I might actually get this warm-up shirt. If this warm-up shirt's available, I think I'm going to get this warm-up shirt. The sort of black and red stripes there. I quite like that, I haven't had a Lions shirt in a while, so maybe I should do it. Because I hope the Lions make my day. On paper, I still back the Lions, but when it comes to winning mentality, I back the Bulls. The Lions just don't know how to win. I don't know. I mean, on paper, you're looking at the Bulls and you're thinking, Jan Krabbelot, part of the Springbok squad, I think Jacques van Nooyen is going to have a tough time. I think that's, as I said, I think Scrum-wise the only place where I think the Lions are dominant. You look at Wallsteenkamp, Van Nooyen, Orkeer, Willem Alberts, and Ruben Skuman. I would back them, except that PJ Boert is feeding the ball into the lineup. But you look at the loose trio, Jakob Kriel, Marcel Garcia, maybe cancel each other out. Arno Boerta versus Marius Tuka, a lot more experience. Albert Lowe versus Frankie Hall. And that should be an interesting battle, actually. But the halfback combination for me that makes such a difference. You got Mornay Steyn, he's got all that experience in Boerta Pierre. He's a former Springbok. Could be very well be a Springbok this year if he gets back to full form. And I think Andre Warner and Fred Zeeling are not quite the same caliber. Wings-wise, I think we can go with the best of them. I think Ras Bakwana is a sensational finisher, and I really like the look of Edwin van der Merwe. So look, if you're going player for player for player, I still think the Bulls edge it. The Lions are at home though. The Lions are at home, so a little bit of home field advantage can go a long way. So hopefully we'll see a bit of that today. But yeah, I don't think it'll be too much because it's not a home ground advantage in terms of being able to have the altitude that they train at all the time. So that they'll be able to sort of run the Bulls a bit flat because the Bulls obviously the similar altitude, or basically the same altitude. But they know the conditions, and at one stage it was a little bit sort of Fortress Ellis. I think that sort of faded away a little bit. Could you not make the stadium? Yeah, look, so I'm still recovering a little bit from my knee surgery, so I can't really sort of walk long distances and stuff like that, or shouldn't be. So I'm hoping in a couple of weeks, once I'm a little bit more active and stuff like that, then I can try and get into a stadium. I was actually trying to look at the fixtures earlier on, trying to see which would be a good match to actually go to. I think the next time the Lions got a home Currie Cup match is Saturday, 19th of February, which I might go to actually. URC wise, what have we got here with the URC? Because it's either 19th of February Currie Cup or 23rd of March. When else are we at home? Saturday, 12th of February for the Stormers. Yeah, maybe that Currie Cup game against the Sharks would be a good game to actually get back to the stadium. You never know. I am planning on getting back into the stadium sometime quite soon, hopefully. But do you have any score predictions? Is anybody putting the cock on the block here? What are we reckoning? Is it going to be a high scoring game, low scoring game? Is it going to be a very one way affair? Where are we sitting at you? What are we thinking? Are we going to be? Are the Lions going to be running in 3-4 tries? Are the Bulls going to be running in tries? What I think is going to be quite interesting, and what I think it is quite interesting, is the style of rugby that that both sides are playing, because I think the Lions are still very similar in terms of trying to play that very positive brand, very attacking natured, which is what leaves them quite susceptible on defense. But I think I'm back. I think that lost your thought now. I think the Bulls are very different to what they used to be. I think that they still have a very big physical pack. Jake White has always been a coach who loves a big physical pack, and that will never change. But I do think that they are a lot more enterprising than they were a couple of years ago. I think that he does want his back line to run with the ball. And I mean, you look at something like a Spiro Mantanzima, he's a very mobile loose head. He likes to play in the loose. Ruan Okia enjoys carrying the ball up. So it's not necessarily just that hard-hitting grunt that the Bulls were always known for. They've definitely got the grunt. They've definitely got the physicality. But I do think there is a better sort of ball skills and around there, and their continuity is much better. So in theory, I think we should be in for quite an exciting game. I think it's both teams that like to run with the ball. If you look at the other teams, for example, the Sharks, previously in the years, I think it's changed now that Curtin Bosch is no longer at fly half, but they were the team that used to kick the most. I think you'll see Stormers kicking quite a lot today up against the Sharks. But hopefully it's dry conditions. We had a lot of rain last night, but it's been pretty dry today, so it should hopefully be quite dry. Tristan's going, so Vic's going 35-30 to the Lions. I love that. Bulls by 7 records. Tristan like the jersey, Steve, but not happening. Look, back my boys, dude. Back my boys. This was a peak jersey, though. I don't think the Lions have released a nice jersey than this. This was pretty wild. Interesting match, sorry, Steve, but going for the Bulls win. So 32 to Bulls, Lions 26. Vic says the Bulls can't get a lot of penalties and the Lions will win. So, yeah, look, and then you're asking for the Lions to put in a disciplined performance. We don't really do discipline, do we? We're not a particularly well-disciplined side, unfortunately. I'm hoping Willem Alberts has a big game. I think that he could help quite a lot. I think that little bit of extra physicality. I think it'll help quite a lot. The Lions, you tell me like Jaco Kriel to stand up. I think that's something as well that we've been waiting to see, that Jaco Kriel that we gave to Lister all those years ago. I think if we can get the Jaco Kriel back and playing the best of his abilities, I think that he can be some. I mean, he was, when he left, one of the most informed flanks in the country. So if we can get him playing well again, I think we've got a very good loose trio once Vince Tuka comes back. I think that Frankie Horn's a very exciting player, and I think that Vince Tuka should be in the box squad. I think if he had a passport, I think he would be. I think he would be in the box squad. But yeah, until that's sorted out. But I think, and then Jaco Kriel as well. So I think the problem is the Lions is always about what could happen, isn't it? It's just continuously talking about, potential, and I'm kind of bored of talking about potential. Whereas you look at this Bulls side, and there's that perfect mixture, because there is potential. Albert Lowe's got potential, Ruan Nokia's got potential. Johan Kovalar's got a lot of potential in terms of international quality, but then they've got tried and tested players. They've got a Morné Steyn who's been there, he's done that at the highest levels. They've got, Mbrosa Pierre, who's played Springbok rugby. They've got all these Springbok Cat players. They've got a Marcel Coetzee, but never write them off. Now, I personally think that our warm-up jersey is substantially better than this jersey. I've always liked the red sort of black vibe. I know that the white's very traditional. Oh, look at all those people at the stadium. Stephen, why aren't you there? Why aren't you there? We'll get there soon, and we'll take a little camera in as well. We're going a bit of a tour. Boys on tour. Kansas last weekend game against Sharks. The Lions could have easily won, so the decision gone the Lions' way. Yeah, look, I think that we had a very rough try ruled against us, and I thought a weird try that was ruled for the Sharks, but they never really explained it. But we also just didn't take our chances. But I agree. I think we probably could have won last week. We played well enough to have won. We just didn't defend particularly well. Rasta Venga is the man in the middle. Big game for him, obviously. And you got likes of Amy Barrett-Turon on this side, who has just won the Referee of the Year, which I think is a stunning decision. I think she is by far our best referee in the country. So good to see her getting that recognition. Right, here we go. We got ball in hand, yep. There goes the whistle, and we are away. Gone deep there, and it is the first carry for Arno Buerta, who slips the tackle of Willem Alberts, so not the best start over there. But the Bulls keeping possession, running their hands. Harold Forster sending out wide to Albert Lowe, who runs over his opposite number. Frankie Horn's on a good moment for him. Eventually gets brought down by one to see the Similane. Frankie Horn, we're going to try and match up there, lad. Now running the hands here, Jacques van Nooyen up against his former side, runs into the big Ruben Schoeman. That's a nice tackle from him, which is illegal. I think it slips up there from Ruben Schoeman. So that could be early points already. And this is what I'm talking about. the discipline, because this is bang in front and Mornay Stan's going to kick this over. I mean, could we have had a worse start to the game? I don't think you could, you know. Vixen, I'm still trying to understand how Yun made to the senior squad of the Lions. He's the only weakest in the whole squad. Yun, a type player, would never leave Varsity Cup. Look, I mean, for somebody, he's playing at very high levels. I think he's got a very good skill set. He's just not fast enough. That's my biggest problem. He's not fast enough. But I mean, he was playing for Leicester Tigers at a stage. He didn't play that many games. He played like 4 or 5 games. But he did play in the Premiership, so there's a player there. I just find him too slow. Yeah, if it's 1-on-1 in the space, you know, pace-wise, he just never manages to catch it. But not a good start for the Lions. We've got Mornay Stain on the halfway line, just inside, and that's definitely got the distance. It'll always have the direction. And Mornay Stain opens up the first points for the Bulls. A very poor start for the Lions, but yeah, I suppose we'll try again. We'll try again from the kickoff. It was a nice chase by Rose McClellan. It just didn't manage to get there. Then we've already seen 2 big tackles missed. Zellinger now going, but now there we go. McClellan is managing to wrap up on Buerta, so keeping the Bulls inside the 22. Buerta appears shaping for the first box kick of the day. There'll be a strong chase from the under 20 star Kanan Moody, but he will find touch. And he's found touch just shy of the 10-meter line, so it's not a bad field position here for the Lions. And PJ Buerta, who, if you've been watching, you'll know how much. Yeah, I really don't rate him, but he needs to show me something. Like, he needs to put a ball into the line out straight for once in his bloody life. Like, come on, we can't be sitting here at this level not being able to put a bloody line out. And we lost the first one. It's you know what's going to happen. I don't understand. How are you playing at this level and you can't feed a bloody ball at the line out? Thankfully, it's a knock-on, but how? Robbie keeps talking about the line of the Bulls. It's not the line of the Bulls. PJ Buerta is incapable of feeding a ball into the line out. I don't understand how he's made it this far as a hooker when you can't throw a ball into the line out. Really? Kansas Lions always struggle at kickoff or receive kickoff. It's a weird area of the game a lot of teams are struggling with, and I don't know. It's one of those things that it should be a very simple thing to sort out. You know, it's a systematic thing. But right, first scrum of the day. Now this is the one place where I think the Lions should have the upper hand. You got Carly Sardi up against Apio Mantanzimo, who's a very nice player, but Carly Sardi, the fridge, backing him. And then you got Jock Van Rooyen, who's a tight head convert, up against East Toy, who I actually think is very underrated. We're gonna have a reset just to really, you know, keep me on my toes. You guys all know how much I love a reset scrum. Time off. Rasta, it's the first bloody scrum. Come, big scrum here, lads. Nice big penalty here. Penalty, kick to the corner, more try. Sorry, actually, then we need to have a hooker. So not a more try, maybe, I don't know, a 3-pointer or something. Lions inspired Weber. Listen, I've been calling for that for so long. Or a free kick there, short-term free kick on the other side there against Jacques Van Rooyen. So we still didn't get a hit there. Yeah, focusing on the wrong chap there, Super Sport. It was against Jacques Van Rooyen. So a free kick for the Lions, and they're going to call another scrum, which I think is a good move, because if you hit another one, it can become then a long arm penalty, or just a penalty, as most people would say. Yeah, I'd love Joseph Dweber. For me, it makes sense. Or else go and get Faison Barter, who's currently third choice hooker at the Sharks. I'm sorry, you were part of the Springbok setup. They bought a hooker. Bongi Manami's going to start every single game. Kieran van Vuuren is currently ahead of you. Go down there and say to Faison Barter, come be our first choice hooker. Put yourself in front of Jacques Nienaber and Rassie Erasmus every single week. I don't understand why that sort of move isn't even like thought about. Yeah, we got a set this time. It's pretty solid, but now comes the power from the Lions. There's the power from the Lions. Advantage here. Warner giving it to Similani out the back to Zalinger. Russell McClellan is coming around outside, gets the ball away to Edel van der Merwe. He's got work to do. He's wrapped up by Madosh Tamwe. But that's what I'm talking about from that scrum there. That's a pretty poor pass. It's been knocked on by Venom Alberts. We'll go back for the penalty, but that is the one thing that the Lions will have today. We can scrum, and we'll scrum all day. It does help when you got Venom Alberts in that second row. But unpopular opinion, I think Carly Sardi takes the place of Thomas Toy in the box squad. I think that we're going for the 3-point here. I think that he's good enough for box. And I know people, Sharks fans will freak out, but I find me a scrummager better than Carly Sardi in this country. Him and Francois Herbert are up there with the best of them. The story of Ron Fenter is amazing. He was in my high school first team in grade 11 in Southern High Centurion. Then he got a scholarship for Power Boys last year. He's a matric. At Charles Power Boys, he was in the 13. Now he's playing URC 10 months later. I always like those stories, and I always think it's a big lesson to coaches that you can't throw away players. There are so many players who peak late on in their school careers or even in their varsity careers. Apiro Dianti went from basically playing res rugby. There we go, 3 points all over there. Apiro Dianti played third team at Queens, I think it was, and then was playing varsity res rugby basically, and then went from there. Wits, Lions, Box, breakthrough player of the year within like 2 years. But yeah, I'm keen to see how Ruan Fenter goes on today. He's a nice player. Right, 3-3. So it's going to be the line-out weapon of the Bulls versus the scrum weapon of the Lions. Mornestein going high towards the right-hand side. And Ruben Skuman, that's a nice take up the air from him. Go back to Fred Zalinger. Fred Zalinger now with the clearance. Doesn't find touch, but he has pumped it quite far. Oh, it's a bit of a fumble there for Mornestein, which will buy the Lions a couple of seconds. He's got Curtly Arnson next to him. He's going to dink it on there. I think he's searching for that 50-22. But it's well covered by Fred Zalinger. He's got a bit of time now. Oh, now he's trying to do it himself, actually, and he almost manages to find it. Just stays in for Mornestein. He's trying to create a bit of an angle. I think he'll look for touch here. He does find touch. I think it'll be about just shy of the halfway line. It's going to be a long day for the Bulls. At scrum time, I think it is. Is Sardi more mobile than Thomas Toy, though? Yeah, but I mean, probably not. Is he a better scrummager? Definitely. And look at our best tight end in Francois Herbert. Not exactly the most mobile chap, but I'm definitely having him there. We attack from the set piece, So look, I think he's a lot more mobile than he was, Carly Sardi. So I think he gets. I mean, look, he makes a lot of carries. I think he would be absolutely fine. If Francois Herbert can make it up there, there's no reason he can't make it. Oh, he's blocked there. PJ Boerter, you are such a shit hooker. I don't understand it. I don't understand. How have you made professional rugby? It's just unbelievable. All right, Bulls tap quickly and hoisted high in the air. Yeah, so a bit of a tester for McClana. And he's been taken out in the air. The ball does fall to the Bulls. And Krobelar's gone over. Yeah, thank you. Okay, yeah. So we're going to check this because Jan Krobelar is over, but Ras McClana is clearly taken out in the air here as he's trying to take on the ball. So I'm actually going to move the 3. I think this might be chalked off. Yeah, we're going to review the content in the air. I was about to say, as soon as it happened, I wasn't happy with that. He looked like he was taken out in the air. I think whoever was chasing overran it. It's Kanan Moody. Yeah, it's a penalty. You can see he doesn't even go for the ball as Kanan Moody. See, he's running. He doesn't go for it. He overruns it. Clearly takes out the legs of Ras McClana. So it'll be a penalty. It'll be chalked off. Thank goodness. Yeah, not a real possession. Yeah, so it'll be a penalty for the Lions. Look, I think Kane Moody just overran it and he pulled out. And I mean, you talk about the idea of not being in a position to contest with the ball. When you pull out and you don't even put your arms up, you're definitely not gonna win too many players with the referee there. So right decision there. It is a penalty for the Lions. They'll get away with that. But I mean, now we're gonna kick for the corner. But we're gonna kick further up. It'll be pretty impressive if we were to get to the corner. In fact, it doesn't even get out of the half. But we've had 2 lineouts and we've lost both. So how do you play a game of rugby if you can't win a lineout? I don't understand what's the plan there. I mean, we're going to start scrumming in our own blade 22 because we can't win a lineout. PJ Butter just once. Just once. It's gone over the top. Hey, we won a lineout. Come on. First time. First time for everything, I suppose. There comes driving more there. It's a reasonable defense there. I think the Lions are going to have to use this. It's all sort of fractured out a little bit. Still going. It's not a tackle, though, so the ball is available there. Frankie Horn is spinning in at scrum half, telling people what's what and what. Gives it to Manuel Tuka. And not being able to clear out. You see, this is the thing. I mean, freaking basic errors. Support your ball carrier. This happened again last week. Marcel could see has gone over that ball, and he's won it well. But it's a continued thing for the Lions where they don't protect the ball carrier. It happened so many times last week where the man carries the ball up, no one rucks away. You can see the penalty, and it's now in front of the poles. If you're going to get beaten, be worse than them. But where is it? I mean, there's no one. There's literally no one. Eventually, Carly Sardi arrives and cleans him up, but it's too late. Having said that, I think I've seen penalties. I mean, given for I've seen that being not awarded in terms of how long you actually have to be on the ball. But I mean, it's far too slow. Ball protection, chaps. Ball protection. It's not hard. You're not asking a lot. Right, Mornestein. It's a good strike, much better strike than the first one. It's always going to have the distance. It's got the direction, and the Bulls go 3 points ahead. Yeah, it's all about discipline, isn't it? It's all about discipline and set pieces. Right, Fred's aiming with the restart. He's gone left. Russ McCliner gets in there, and he managed to throw. I don't know if it's going to drift forward. Just couldn't hang on to it, but that's a brilliant chase from him. He gets in front there, and he grabs the ball out the end. Just can't manage to hold on. But that's a good kick chase. And a scrum will not. We'll take a scrum. If he had taken this, I mean, it's almost sideways, you know. Yeah, that's really good work from Russ McCliner. If he managed to hold on to that, then that is brilliant. Missed last week's game. How did Ulrich Lowe play? Very well, very well. I think that him and Evan Lewis were an interesting contest, but I think that he was probably the better 8. Can't watch the game on DSTV now. Well, I'm watching DSTV now, so not quite sure what the issue is there. But DSTV now is more temperamental than the Lions team. So, right, there comes the scrum. Bulls are going to put it in and get it out quite quickly. Looking to run it from the 22, Harold Forster. Runs into Fred Zalinger. Quick recycle here, and Bruce Pierre goes to the boot. He has got the safety to 22, and he does look to find touch. Ever for Yun. And finds touch by the halfway line. That's a brilliant exit play from the Bulls. Quick scrum. Carry from the inside center to create an angle. And then Ambrose Pierre kicks it out to the halfway line. That is the perfect exit play. I mean, if you wanted to put a template, if you wanted to just show a young side, this is how you exit out your 22 from a scrum. That's exactly it. One phase, bang, halfway line. Thank you very much. And now you've got PJ Buerter filling it in. So now you've got a line, you basically a line of victory as well. So, I mean, the bonuses just don't stop there. Hey, we won another one. Come on, now we're moving. There comes the running more, which is pretty stationary. Trying to get a bit of a drive going now. But they do use it. Andre Warner puts it up high. It hasn't gone particularly fast. It'll be contestable. It falls back towards Ambrose Pierre. Under a lot of pressure from PJ Buerter, who's deciding to give me the middle finger and try to put in a performance. As I said, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. That's what I want to see. Okay, so now they've chased up hard. The ball fell to Mbose Pierre, and PJ Buerta has tackled him out. So it'll be another Lions line up. This is a nice attacking opportunity, actually. It's just outside the 22. Now, number one, win the line out. After that, we can do whatever. I think there's a better all-rounder. 8 likes to defend way better. Yeah, I think Evan Lewis is very attacking nature, number 8, but I think Ulrich Lowe's got the all-round game. Right, first carry the ball to Biggendal, who then goes inside to Russ Buklana. I mean, why would you give an inside ball to him to run into 2 massive balls forwards? Ruben Skuman giving away to Tuka, and once again, not being able to. I thought Moscow was about to win another penalty there on the ground. There, Fred Zayling got a lot of pressure. Inside ball to Frankie Horn. Nice leg drive from him, almost up to the 22. Good work there from the Lions, number 8. Good offload from Carly Sari. Looking a couple of men down wide there. Big window. Creel. Ras McClellan decides to come inside. Going back for a penalty. I think it was a bit of a forward pass. I thought there was a penalty, actually. I think it was an advantage for offside. Neck roll. Oh, for fuck's sakes. I mean, really, you finally get some flipping go forward ball, and now you can see the penalty for a neck roll. It's PJ Buerta. We're going to have major issues. Mornestein finds touch by the 22, and all of a sudden the Lions. Who is it? Now it's Ruben Skuman, so that's 2 penalties conceded by you, Ruben. Good work. Love your work there, lad. You really can see 3 points for us. You've now put us on the 22. Dear. Right, ball over the top from the Bulls. It bounces by Harold Forster, and Burger Windell's almost jumped onto it, but Lionel Mapu has managed to grab it. It's a knock-on advantage for the Bulls. Well, they're not calling advantage over, so it's a penalty advantage. If it is, I'm not quite sure, but Kalen Moody's done very well to get away from us, but Klana. Lionel Mapu's been wrapped up just inside the 22. Bulls in the attack here. And penalty for not rolling. I mean, come on, Oaks. Oh, dear. All right, Mornestein has not kicked it further towards the corner, so the Lions very much under the pump here. Bit of a butchered line out there from the Bulls, and Virgil Windell, if he managed to hold on to that, could have been away. Yeah, Naka Creel's caught inside, can't roll away. Yeah, one of those standard situations where the person who comes in for the ruck then goes and kneels on him so he can't roll away. They shift to the point of contact here, the Bulls. This more looks like really well set. This could be problem city for the Lions. Counter shove comes in, but they're not peeling off to the side. And if they've got clear, they're over. I mean, it's so flippin' simple. It's so simple. Yeah, but supporting defense, it's just discipline. It's back-to-back penalties in the corner, moaning more, and over you go. You know, let me know when you actually want to play some rugby here, chaps. Jan Kobler, the man. As I said, it looked like a very well set maul. Then the Lions come in very much on the right-hand side, very right dominant, and all the Bulls do is then peel off to the Lions left, and it's just Carlu Sadi, and then they peel away and they walk over basically. You can't win rugby games if you're going to concede this many penalties. It's far. I mean, I think we conceded 5 already, and it's 17 minutes. So you're averaging a penalty less than every 3 minutes, which is going to be a long game. It's going to be a very long game. I mean, that's over 20. That's almost like 25 penalties. If you continue that rate, that's like 25 penalties over the game. And when you got a goal kicker like Mornestein who just slot them all day like that, oh my goodness. Trying to find these stats. I want to see exactly how many penalties have been conceded, Joe. You know, it's got 2 for the Lions, but I mean, the fact that they kicked 2 penalties means it's far more than that. I think it's 5. Anabutu with the restart, slips slightly ahead of the defense, but he's still in the 22. Ambrose Pierre will give it back towards more. And matter of fact, he's now setting up for the box kick. There comes the box kick. He'll look for touch here, I'm sure. And he does find it right by the halfway line. So the Lions, the Bulls' exit play has been very impressive. And that's the thing, though. Apart from the scrums, the Bulls are so accurate. Their lineouts are so accurate. Their exit play is so accurate. They've got a plan. They're such a well-coached side. Let me just adjust the clock because we did lose a bit of time earlier. All right, come on, chaps. Another line win, solid, much better there. Now, Willem Alberts with the first carry of the day. Now, Steve Tolle wrapped up as opposite number, but he's fighting hard to find an extra meter or two. He does. It's available for Warner. He goes to Willem Alberts once again. Sorry, I think the first carry was actually Ruben Skuman. I'm not convinced he's allowed to play that. It's a penalty for Arno Buerta, but Rasta, I'm not entirely. Not releasing is the call. Yes. No, it's about to. It's against the Lions. I'm not convinced about this. I think he had his hands by head of the ball here. We'll relook at this. But cool. So that's penalty number 6 before the 20-minute mark. Right, let's see it. So it's the carry from Willem Alberts. Yeah, I mean, he has a go initially, so it depends on whether you classify that as being ahead of the ball. Because he has a go, misses it, and then has another go, and then gets his hands on it. And previously, it used to be the case of once you've had your first attempt, if you missed it, then you're done. And they'll literally say you've missed it. But all of a sudden, the line's back on the 22. And Albert Lowe with the line over the top with the run strong carry there. Ambrose Pierre now going to Lionel Poo, who runs into Willem Alberts. A nice hit from him, as you come to expect from the Bone Crusher. Jacques van Roy, that's a very nice tackle from Manus Tuka, who stood strong. Jan Krobelaar wrapped up by Steve Story. The ball pops up to Ambrose Pierre. Spear Zima trying to find a gap. Here's an offload to Ruan Nokia. Ruan Nokia almost there. Oh, he's lost the ball forward, ref. He's lost the ball forward. No. Go check. Go check. The ball was literally he lost. At least you have to have a look. See, how does that ball go forward? Is that off a boot or off a hand? How have you not even had a look at this? Yeah, well done, Rasta. Yeah, let's come off the knee, and then he's played it again. You can't do that. Rasta. We're going to have chats here, chap. But who's on the touchlines on this? Because that's where they should be looking at that. He releases it, and then the knee comes through from Ulrich Lowe, pushes the ball forward, and then he places it again. You can't place it again. No, the flipping knee of Ulrich Lowe puts it head. He's literally got blue tape on his leg. Thank you. No, I want my penalty. I mean, it's chalked up, but I want my penalty. I think it's playing on the ground. Berger, that's where you got to ask the question. Is that not playing the ball on the ground? Because he lost possession of it and then he pushed it back. So is that not playing the ball on the ground? I mean, I'm not a referee. The Bulls and Lucy is scary to think they lost Calf and Starden and Vermeulen in the last 6 months. Yeah, but I mean, they were signing loose forwards like it was going on fashion. So if there's one area they could afford to lose people, it was. I mean, they've still got blooming Jacques Duplessis, who's apparently injured for a while, and they've brought in Kyle Brink. From Jakarta, Indonesia, welcome Fred, welcome to the stream. Vic says players now barely go for the ball in the rucks anymore. They just lay a hand in the ref awards the penalty. It's a very good point. That's what I said as well. You know, I think if there's one law change at ruck time, I would like to see it's you actually need to go for the ball. Like we need to start popularizing turnover ball, not just penalties. You know, if the ball's on the ground and there's nobody there, grab it, turn it over. We never see turnovers anymore. We just see people go down there, put their hands on the ball, go ref, he's holding, thank you, I'll take the penalty. Contest for it. Turn it over. That's what you're allowed to do. That's what you're supposed to be doing. It's when they prevent you from turning it over that the penalty then comes. Pretty solid scrum there from the Bulls, holding up lines, and then Fred Zellinger has managed to find a clearance, which looks pretty decent. I think apparently Watchalong has only gone up to the 22. Looked a bit harsh. But looked much better scrum from the Bulls. They're much more solid. Right, so Bulls line on the 22. I still feel hard bummed now. I feel like we should have had a penalty for playing the ball on the ground. I don't know. What do you guys reckon? Because he places it, and then the knee pushes the ball forward, and then he then grabs it and then pushes it back, which, I don't know. I mean, if that's not playing the ball on the ground, what is playing the ball on the ground? But Bulls line out. Bosel Kutsia goes on a run. Brought down by PJ Buerta. Now Mbosa Pierre goes to Piermont and Zima. And Frankie Horn has ripped that from him. That is brilliantly done. Russ McClanahan, that was a bit of a hospital pass right in front, but he's managed to hold on to it. Frankie Horn, take a bow. That is a fantastic rip. Tell you, there are a lot of people sitting at Liaco prison who'll be impressed with that steal. Madosh Tamwe, tackle him! Eventually brought down by Blooming Willem Albert up to the 10 meter now of the Bulls. We're staying going pretty flat to Lionel Hurley Orange, so he's going on a bit of a run. Evades a big hit. First time tackling is pretty shoddy right now. Harold Forster decides to dink over the top. There's nobody there. Edel van der Merwe has got a bit of a foot race. The ball does eventually win and roll out, so it will be a Lions line out. Yeah, don't you smell Harold Forster, you traitor. You, Madosh never really made it, but you and Lionel and Kyle Brink and Jacques Van Rooyen, you enjoy your bloody Pretoria side. I mean, like, what are we with the bloody Bulls Academy? Right, so the Lions will have a line out inside their own 22, which is the stuff of nightmares. I wake up in a cold sweat after thinking about Lions in 22 with PJ Butch to throw the ball in. Yeah, he does win it though. Yeah, good. You keep proving me wrong. I'm going to keep slating him, and you just keep proving me wrong throughout the game. That's going to be the order of the day. That looks like a better clearance from Fred Zellinger. Right up towards the halfway line, Madosh Tamwe takes it quickly, gives it to Curtly Orenser, who does, runs straight into Emmanuel Stuka. I mean, weird with all that pace to then run into someone. Here, Matazima, brought down by Jaco Creel. Trying to get his hands on the ball there. Ambrose Pierre now going to Jan Krobelog, going out to Monestain. He's going to Harold Forster, going flat to Lionel Poo, Curtly Orenser. Lionel Poo starts to go to the boot. Ever Yun is tracking back slower than a flipping 10-ton truck. Manages to pick it up under a lot of pressure. Needs a bit of help. It does come in. So we've got both the Lions here. Carly Sali just takes the hit and goes down. So we can try and create an angle here for Andrew Warner. He's going to try and kick our way out of trouble. Ras Baklana, you've got a big chase ahead of you, you chap. They're all the way back to Fred Zellinger. And Fred Zellinger will try and find a decent clearance. Just try and get the Lions out of trouble. But the Bulls are going to keep it alive once again. They go all the way to the left towards Madosh Tamwe. Madosh Tamwe, he's going to chip and chase himself. The charge down, though. Falls back to him, though. So the Bulls have got possession right by the halfway line. Obviously not a knock-on because it is a charge down. Bosa Pierre going to Monestain, who decides to lift a very high kick. I mean, that bomb's almost gone backwards. And McClanahan goes up, and it falls back to Wandisila Similani. His first touch of the ball. And he's eventually brought down by Jan Krobelog. Lions now. Warner spotting a bit of space in behind. And it's fumbled backwards by Curtly Orenser, who has got Monestain company inside of him. Monestain, I think that ball was last off his boot slightly, so... Yeah, not the best clearance from Monestain. So the Lions will have a line out just, about 5 meters shy of the 22. Better. But also, big point for the Lions. Similani's first touch of the ball came in the 26th minute. He is the most talented player in this team with ball in hand. Time off. We've got 2 players down here. Yeah, he's the most talented player with ball in hand. You've got to give him the ball as much as you can. It's like Curtly Orenser, He's, that X factor. You don't want to see Curtly Orenser in space. As a Lions fan, I don't want to see him in space. As a Bulls fan, you pray to see him in space. I want to see Solani with his ball in hand. He creates things. He carries the ball well. And we need to try and use him a bit more. Burgerwinda was down to receiving a bit of treatment. I think he got a whack to the face. Looks all right to continue. It's interesting. I think you got all the executive suites where the coaches are now sitting. I mean, old Ivan van Rooyen is pacing up and down, looking a bit worried there. Right, 26 minutes on, we've got 13-3, so it's a 10-point difference. So the Lions need to score a try here. I think confidence-wise and make the game a bit more competitive. PJ Buerta has been finding his lineup men. I mean, it's just it's a world-class lineup, isn't it? Right, we're Windell, Fred Zalinger. Fillion, you slightly overran his pass and unfortunately couldn't get the offload to Abel van der Merwe. Now back to Ruben Schoeman. Solid carry from him. That's what we need from you, Ruben. Now Warner. Pretty poor pass to Zalinger. Gives to Burger Windell. Pops up to Manus Tuka to carry. Now Willem Alberts is wrapped up by Sampiro Mantanzima. It's a nice tackle from him. Fred Zalinger going to want to see the Similani. Can he counter up? Trying to get on the outside of one. He's wrapped up. Oh, he's not wrapped up. He's still going Similani. Stepping his way away from a few plays. Eventually brought down. Now Zalinger flat to Carly Sali, bit of a hospital pass, but Sali has duck barreled and rolled. Gained a few meters. Enjoy that. That's what the power of momentum gives you. Andrew Warner, can you stop passing at Fred Zalinger's feet? Goodness me, Burger Windell outside of Frankie Horn. And he's run out. Well, I'm sure we could have counted something a bit better than that, but it's better. It's better. We ran a few phases there. Ball going left and right. He's annoyed with himself as Frankie Horn because he couldn't stay in. So he went on the outside of Kanan Moody, which is a poor idea. Kanan Moody is not a small customer, but back yourself. You're number 8. Run the inside line and keep yourself in there. It was weird trying to go outside him when you got the touchline right there. There's a sign that says, "I'm a blue bulls, but I roar like a lion." People are weird, eh? And so the Bulls are now currently right, but there's 22. But Doshobe, can somebody tackle him? Goodness me, the Bulls have absolutely flown through the Lions' defense. Ono Buerta is just short. The Bulls are on the attack here. All they need to do is find one ball carrier, and they should be over here. I mean, the Lions' first time tackling is terrible. Bulls inside on the 5-meter line. Sampiro Mantanzima has knocked the ball on over the line out. So it will be a Lions scrum. Well, thank you, Sampiro Mantanzima, for a little bit of try line fever there, because he's knocked the ball on the try line. And breathe, and breathe, and breathe. Jeepers, that attack. I mean, I don't even know where the Lions' defense was. There was just nowhere there. He's gone low, and PJ Buerta, as he makes the tackle, has ripped the ball out. Advantage over. So it's not a scrum because it's advantage over because he kicked it. Ruster, we basically kicked it from our own flipping in-goal area. We did kick from our in-goal area. The back of our in-goal area. So it's no longer a scrum. It's a penalty for... it's a scrum. It's a line-up for the Bulls. So basically what Frankie Horn should have done then is just knocked it on. Oh, sorry. Knock on advantage. Thanks. Because instead of having a scrum on the 5-meter line, with the way the scrums have been going for the line, which is really good, we've now got a 22-meter line for the Bulls. And last time, we just come from a line where they've just penetrated the Lions' defense. The Lions' defense is like a sieve. It really is. Here we go. Also, could see it popping up to Harold Forster. No fancy moves. Fred Zalinger, you literally half made the tackle. They went on a run, and he got up and went another few meters. Mantanzima now. Yaka Creel going for the ball there. Pick up and go from Marcel Coetzee. A lot of players chasing for the ball. And penalty for not rolling away against Andre Warner. So this is going really well. Lions under the cosh here. We've got 10 minutes. I'm going to flip and see an Albert Low tap and go. Goodness me. Right, Ruben. Assert your authority. Inside ball to Marcel Coetzee, who then kind of just goes down. Recycle quickly, pick up and go. From Johan Rabela. Now pick up and goes and come from Jacques van Rooyen. Bulls are right up on the 5-meter line. Literally on the try line here. Show and go from Johan Rabela. It's been held up. They're recycling it though. Marcel Coetzee digging for the ball. No, sorry, it does go to Marcel Coetzee. Both appear. And Mornay Stain has gone back inside and ran into a bit of traffic. And Ambrose Pierre has dove there. I mean, how easy is that? How easy is that from Ambrose Pierre? Mornay Stain coming inside. Apparently took 3 defenders to tackle him, and then Ambrose Pierre just glided through and dove over. Far too easy. Far too easy. And it's been coming. There's been so much pressure lately that has been coming for a long time. I mean, Mornay Stain almost stuffed it up, I think he had men on the outside. But yeah, I mean, you had Carlos Sario at pillar there, and then nobody anywhere near him. I mean, Spear Montezuma saw the gap and was screaming for it. Willem Alberts is sitting in another postcode, watching things go on. I mean, really, chaps. Jacques, we're going to have a chat about this defensive system because it ain't working. Bulls up to 20 points. It's going to be a long game. This could be a very long game. Cross, and they're still going to be on the likes of Bismarck and Aliza Koboka. Ah, dear. Oh, to be a Lions fan. Come on, try before half time. It's gone high. Taken from Ono Buerta. And Ras Bakwana managed to grab his legs and bring him down. But the Bulls still have the safety 22. Rosapia now going to Marcel Kutsia. That's a nice big tackle from, I think it's Carly. No, it's not Carly. Sorry, I think it could have been Willem Alberts. Yeah, it was Willem Alberts. Now Rosapia will go for touch. His box kicking's been really good. He's found another touch finder by the halfway line. In Rosapia, I'm a big Rosapia fan. I think that he could very well find himself back in the box squad if he plays well enough. And his clearance from the 22 has been superb. Every single time the Bulls have received a kickoff, the result is the Lions line out on the halfway line. Almost every single time. And what more could you want from Scrum off? Right, come on, chaps. We've got 7 minutes here. Let's try and see if we can create something. PJ Buerta. That's a horrible line out. And Jan Kobola has hacked that through. So McLana is retreating. Throws the ball back to nobody. Jack Creel comes back and says, stuff that I'm going to have to do this all myself. You're actually useless. And he goes on a bit of a run, runs straight into Spear Montezuma. So Lions will be back on the 22. See, it's because I started saying that PJ Buerta was going well, and all of a sudden, terrible throw. It just goes over everyone. Right, the clearance from Fred Zelinger. Caden Moody fumbles it, gives it inside to Kurt Lawrence. He's going to go to the boot. Lawrence and Moody chasing hard. We're testing for Fred Zelinger. He's got a bit of time. He's wrapped up by Caden Moody. I'm not sure that was the best idea, Zelinger. We had somebody inside there. But the Lions have managed to win it, and it goes pretty horrible pop from flipping Ever for Yun to Ruben Skuman. And Andre Warner now will be able to go back towards Ever for Yun. He'll find a touch finder, trying to find the 50-22, but it'll sit up here for Mornay Stain. He's got a bit of time here. And he'll put that on the boot. And you won't find a brilliant touch finder. So the Lions will have another lineup inside the half, which is where they started, but we can't put a ball into the lineout. So we have to have 3 minutes of interplay before we can get back to the same place. Being a Lions fan was so much fun for 3 years. And now we're just back in the dumps. Come on, lads. There are players here. Let them play. Strange replay show. Right. Between the halfway line and the 10-meter line, PJ Buerta goes to Ruben Skuman, and it's contested by the Bulls, but we do manage to win it. Fred Zelinger goes flat to Carly Sardi, who runs over Marcel Kutsia and finds a few meters. Quick ball from Warner to Zelinger. Inside ball to him. Oh, yes! We're going through! Inside ball! He's got a knack! He's over! It's Andre Warner! Come on! There it is. You see what I'm saying? Let's cook. Serge Gnabry, let's just cook there. That's what we want to see. Big tight head over. Inside ball to McClana. Through the gap. Good support play from Andre Warner, and he's over again. Come on. His inside ball from Fred Zadinger is perfect. McClellan getting away from one, realizes he's got a lot of work to do, gives the inside ball to Andre Warner, who's now scored his third try in 3 games. Scored against the Stormers, scored against the Sharks, scored against the Bulls. I don't know what it is about him, and it's not like he's like Hershey Yankees where he fight. Oh, for fuck's sakes, Rasta, what are you looking at now? Now we're looking at obstruction. Okay, so now we're trying to find obstruction, and I do say trying to find because every single time anything happens, we have to go boom and look at it. This is getting ridiculous. If this gets called off, I'm so done. I'm so done. So Similani runs a dummy line, and now Harold Forster's claiming he's taken out. So the question is, I mean, Mornay State is. It's interesting because on this angle, look, I mean, he's complaining about being taken out, and he's about they still are about 10 meters away from actually getting there. So this is a very interesting angle because the first angle you can see he gets taken out, but the second angle, the argument is that, I mean, he's still around there. This is gonna get chalked off, you know. You just can't have nice things. But if you stop complaining, you could still get there and make a tackle. If I was Bill Gonzalez, that would be my argument. My argument would be like, if you just stop complaining. What's the point? What's the point? Just blow the bloody game now. We have one nice moment and you're going to chalk it off. No, offside's not really the issue. Can't have nice things. Hello, Rennie. I hope you're well. I wouldn't say I'm well, but I hope you're well. But Rusta's had a shocker now because every single time the ball's gone over, he's awarded a try and then waited to see something afterwards to then go, oh, actually, hang on, we actually look at that. And he's done that for like 3 tries now. See, 7 penalties conceded compared to 2. How are you supposed to play rugby if you're conceding like almost quadruple the amount of penalties that the opposition is? And Frankie Horn has now apparently played the man in the air and conceded another penalty. Make that 8 penalties, so literally quadruple. You conceded 4 times the amount of penalties. How do you expect to play rugby when you concede 4 times the amount of penalties as your opposition? Like, come on, guys. Been chased from Harold Forster. It is taken by Andrew Warner. We'll go back for the penalty. They'll be able to add an extra 3. And this game is running away from the lines very quickly. Such a stupid penalty to concede. On the 5 meter, Ruan Okia takes it. Here comes a maul. It's looking a good-looking maul. It has come down though. Whether it's an advantage, I think it's clear. I think the Lions have turned it over. Come on, woo! Something to celebrate. Come on, woo! Defend that maul. Now take it from Emmanuel Stuka, who's very isolated. Probably going to concede a penalty here. No, thankfully they've missed it. Oh, we've got a penalty. at the breakdown as well. Hey, Rasta. We appreciate your work, lad. I mean, we've been pinged how many times in the breakdown? So to win a penalty there is it's the first of the day. Right. Come on, chaps. A try before half time, and we're kind of still in the game. If we go in 20 points to 3, that's a long way back. Especially because we wouldn't say we've really got the bench. I mean, who can make a difference in the side? Maybe Tion Swanepoel, more fun and Burke can inject a bit of pace. That's a good looking maul. That's a good looking maul. Yeah, advantage. There we go. Cool. Advantage. There we go. Penalty. Now we're going to do the same. Right, a penalty there. So the Lions will be able to kick towards the Bulls try line. And once again, the siren has gone. We are over into extra time. And that's a good kick from Fred Zerlinger. We've actually found touch side 22. Come on! Yeah, because you know Jordan Hendricks is coming back for a spot. I think it's going to be a whole new experience when you go to the stadium. It's going to be, in theory, there should be no lines for food. You can't buy beer. I don't understand why you can't have beer in it. That thing makes no sense. The idea there's no booze in the stadium. Why? You can have booze in the pub. Why can't I have booze in the stadium? But no booze lines would be quite a treat. Obviously, you trade that for more fans in there. But that could be a bit of a silver lining, actually, because trying to get food and drink and stuff like that is a disaster. PJ Borta going for the back of the line. He does take it as Frankie Horde. It's a nice take from him. It has gone straight down, though, legally so as well. So we're going to have to try and find a couple of ball carriers here. Ball's being recycled. Andrew Warner's looking towards the back line. Goes to Berger Undal. Nice line from him. Advantage as well. And that's a horrible pass from Warner. So it's a penalty advantage right in front. Take a scrum. Take a scrum. That's what I'd like to see us do. Don't go for the line out. Yeah, you see, Owen Cavani agrees with me. Take a scrum. We can't. The line out is I'd almost say 60-40 in favor of the Bulls, to be honest. Oh, I don't go for the corner. Berger, we can't put. I swear, if we lose this ball now, I will drive to flipping Ellis and I will literally. He hasn't found touch. He hasn't fucking found touch. That could be the worst piece of rugby I've ever watched in my life. Penalty on the halftime hooter. Go for touch, and Fred Zaniger decides to just sort of chip it towards the corner. He doesn't find touch. He shouldn't be coming back on for the second half, as far as I'm concerned. There we go, half time, 20 points to 3, a disaster half for the Lions. The Bulls are playing well, but I mean they're not really having to play well, to be honest. I think the Lions have been that bad today. They're just enemy of their own demise at the moment. Very frustrating. Anyway, we're gonna take a short break. We'll come back and do a bit of a stat attack. So we'll see you guys soon. In the meantime, please do subscribe to the channel if you are new. Let's see if we can get up to 10,350 today, maybe. I'd love to start getting up to 11,000 and 12,000, start approaching the next big milestone. But yeah, we'll see you guys in a few minutes. Right, we are back. The halftime score over at Emirates Airline Park is 20 points to 3 in favor of the Bulls. The Lions, very much their own enemy, not playing well at all. And you don't want to take anything away from the Bulls because you don't want to sit there saying that they play badly. I mean, they're not. I'm not. Obviously, not playing badly. They got 20 points. I don't want to say the Bulls aren't playing well, but the Lions are making it very easy. It's make them work for the tries, and the Bulls have been very accurate. I think that's probably the best way you could describe it. They've been so accurate. Set pieces have been very good for the Bulls. When they've had the opportunities, they've taken them. But the Lions' discipline, I think they conceded 10 penalties in that first half. You can't concede 10 penalties compared to the Bulls' 3, I think it was. So Lions discipline's terrible. I think Rasta Rashavenga is having an absolute mare. I just don't think the interpretation has been pretty weird. He's chalked off tries in various places for interesting reasons. He hasn't seen half of what's going on. Every single time he scores, we have to go up look at the score. At the replay to see what he's missed and stuff like that, which is quite frustrating. So it hasn't been a good performance. But let me look at the stats and stuff like that. So how's Aiden? Hope you're well, guys. It's just me or the refereeing terrible. Yeah, I just don't think it's good. I wouldn't say it's biased. We haven't had a lot of calls, but I just think it's bad. I just think it's genuinely pretty poor refereeing. Mark Dunn says Lions are going to need to sort the discipline and try score quick in the second half. Yeah, agreed. So possession apparently is 50-50 according to Ultimate Rugby. Territory favors the Bulls. They've obviously got 2 tries, 2 conversions, and 2 penalties compared to the 1 Lions penalty. Had 250 meters runs, twice as much as the Lions. They've beaten 10 defenders to the Lions 7, 35 gain line carries, 2 clean breaks. Lions have passed the ball more, as you would kind of expect. Bulls have had more offloads. Lions have had more turnovers 1, which is interesting. Bulls kicking more from hand, which you'd expect. Tackles made, the Lions have missed 10, made 57. Bulls have missed 7, made 36. So tackle success rate, both 82-81% around there. The ruck success rate, the Lions have lost 3 rucks. Their ball retention is not great. Lineout success, we've lost 3 lineouts there, and there was a free kickoff for lineouts. So call it 4 lineouts. And that's the problem. You can't lose 4 out of 12 lineouts, basically. It's 4 out of 13, but still, it's ridiculous. Whereas the Bulls have won 10 out of 10. That's the difference. Scrums, I think the Lions have got the upper hand. The Bulls started to get more solid, but I think that's the one potential sort of avenue where the Lions can sort of get in there. The whistle goes, and we are away for the second half. Mornay staying getting things underway, going to the left-hand side of the park. Frankie Horn pretty solid under the high ball there, throwing away 2 defenders as well. It's a nice take from the young Lions, number 8. The Lions have straight a penalty after the hooter went 7 meters away from the try line, decided to kick it to the touch, and Fred Zaniger didn't find touch. So I think he's lucky to be on the park, as Emil Fuyun does not find touch from that clearance, and Mornay Stain fumbles the ball now, giving it away to Madosh Tumwe. Ball trying to attack from the 10 meter. Madosh Tumwe trying to get away, but he's wrapped up by Similani. They go to Harold Forster. He then goes himself. He's eventually brought down by the halfway line. So the Bulls with ball in hand on the halfway line on the far left-hand side. Superior Mantazima shows the ball and then goes himself. Carly Sari trying to get his hands over there, but losing his footing. Now Mornay Stain going behind to line with Pooh. Curtly Orense. Burger Undal's rushed up and he's missed the tackle. And Curtly Orense has fumbled the ball forward. Thankfully, Burger Undal is down and looks injured. And tracking back here is Mornay Stain, and should be under a lot of pressure. There's a good kick chase, but he's got a lot of time to find a clearance. I don't think he's actually found touch there. He hasn't found touch, right? So Ever for Yun, you need to run away from Burger Undal. Is currently down. Lions actually don't have a centre on the bench. Ironically, we've had one for the last couple of games and haven't used him. It'll find a move, tip over the top. Well covered there from Stianka, but there was a penalty for offside. So the Lions got a penalty in the first half and breathe. Right, so Burger Undal is very much down here. He went down, clutching his, I think his head. I don't know if it's a shoulder or if it's a head injury, but the time will be off. And he went straight down here. He rushed up to try and tackle Curtly Orense. He's just out cold. Yeah, he gets an elbow to his head and he just completely goes out there. So that's the end of Burger Undal's match, unfortunately. And the frustrating thing is we had Matt Moore on the bench for both the Stormers and this clash and never used him. In fact, I think we had him on the bench for one of our URC games as well. I mean, the overseas ones. And we never used him. And now we go with the 6-2 split and Burger Undal's done for the day. So now we're going to have to see Tian Swanepoel playing at inside centre. Oh, no, he's sitting up, but surely at the very least he's going to have to go for a concussion test. An HIA. No, he's walking though, so he's going to jump on the golf cart, but I'll be very surprised if he passes this HIA. Yeah, he's very dazed. He's very dizzy. He's not in a good space. And here comes Tian Swanepoel. The question is he at centre or is he at fly half? The alternative, I suppose, you put Evil for unit inside. Yes, let's do that. Evil for unit inside centre and Tian Swanepoel at full back was probably what I would do because that removes the pace issue from Evil for unit. That's a big blow, though. The Lions don't have inside centres. We don't. We've got Matt Moore, who's a youngster, and that's pretty much it. I would be interesting to see if we try and see if Henko van Beek, when he's back, he's currently injured. But if Henko van Beek can play at inside centre, then him and Wonderseal Similani could be the Lions centre combination for like a decade. But Fred Zelinger to take the 3 points here. Fred Zelinger, get off the park. Get off the park. It's bang in front and he's pushed it to the left. What are you doing here? I agree. The light's falling down. Oh, dear. Our light's fallen off here. I mean, Fred Zelinger, do you not want us to succeed? He's playing against us. Oh, my light's going off. It's all falling apart. We're falling apart in the studio. The lines are falling apart in Ellis Park. It's just all a disaster. And the restart there has been very well chased up by Kane and Moody. It's quite a quiet game so far. Winning possession back for the Bulls. And a penalty. Yay! Jaco Kriel. Oh, it's Ruben Schoolman who's got his hands all over that ball and won a penalty. Now, the fun fact for the Lions, you can't go for the line because we can't put in a line out. We can't go for poles because Fred Zelinger just missed for bang in front. So unless Tian Swanepoel comes out, puffs his chest out and says, I'll take the kicking duties. Fred Zelinger, what are you doing? No, but I see this is the problem with the commentators that they actually just don't watch enough rugby because they're now talking about the fact that 2 years ago, Jaco Kriel would have gone for touch, and now he's going for thing. He said it's a shift in mentality. It's not a shift in mentality. It's an absence of personnel. 3 years ago, we had a lineout that worked. We had a Rolly Moore that worked. He's missed that again. Get off the field. But you can't go for touch if you can't win your line out. So what are the options? The only option there was poles, tap and go, or scrum. I probably would have gone for a scrum. But don't come here with it's a shift in mentality. It's not a shift in mentality. We don't have a line out. We don't have a hooker that can put the ball in. Guarantee you, Jakob Asaki's playing, we kick to the corner. Watch rugby, please, before you start commenting. Come here with a shift in mentality. Anyone that's watched any Lions rugby can tell you right now as Emmanuel Tuka chases hard at this kick, will tell you that the Lions don't have an operating line-out. Curtly Orense has marked that. And he's taken and then sliced it. So we'll be a Lions line just by the 10-meter line. All right, PJ Burta, come on. You're the reason we can't go for the line and when you get into penalties. So now actually start sorting your line out. I just don't understand. You see, it's another messy one. And Chance Wonderpool's knocked it on. No, I think it came off his shoulder. Yeah, it's a lock on. It's what are we supposed to do? How? I'm not sorry. I'm not. It's now just repetitive. It's just a non-flippant starter. Right, scrum time. The only thing we can actually do at the moment. Big scrum needed here, boys. It's a huge scrum. The Bulls have used it, but that's a much better scrum. They go to Curtly Orange, so he then puts it onto this boot. Ever for Yun, there's balls bounced over, Ever for Yun. So he's got a bit of time here. Needs to find a decent clearance here, get the Lions out of trouble. That's a very nice clearance from Yeovil for you. And it's up towards the halfway line, but Morningstain's taken himself. And now putting the up and under from Adosh Tumwe to chase. It's going to be a test for Fred Zelinger, who's missed 6 points so far in the second half. He does take that, though. Then fumbles the ball and puts Yeovil for you under pressure. Oh, we've turned over the ball. What's the point? Advantage over, but the kick comes off the toe and bounces back towards the Bulls. Kick over the top for Morningstain. As turn it from the Merva, so the Lions will have a defensive line out. Oh dear. Lions going to sort the discipline out. Yeah, so SA at this point, I'd rather have the Cheetahs than the Lions. Yeah, look, the Lions thrashed the Stormers in Cape Town and were the top of the log for the SA teams for last week. So calm down. Also, the Cheetahs couldn't beat the Lions when we had the Curry Cup, so they're definitely not the better side. But that's not justifying the fact that the Lions aren't playing well. Having said that, the Lions scored 37 points against the Sharks last week. So this is the worst performance that we've seen from the Lions this season. But let's not just use this as the rule. We have had better performances. We probably should have beaten the Glasgow Warriors. We did thrash Zebra. We did thump Stormers. And then we did put 37 points on Sharks. So it could be worse. But that's, yeah, I mean, it's an under pressure line out, clear the lines, and now we're under pressure again. Why wouldn't we let Swanepoel take the kick? You're asking the right questions. You are asking the $1 million questions. I would let Tian Swanepoel take the lineouts. Surely somebody else would take the lineouts. And surely you get to a point. We all used to muck around at school as the Bulls. Give it to Curtly Arendse. Lionel Pooh actually hangs it on. Throws a 50-50 pass that almost drifted forward. But Harold Forster has... Yeah, knock on. There we go. Thankfully, Ruster's picked that up. Surely you guys also used to muck around at school and like you had like a random prop you could take a ball into the lineout. Honestly, I would rather play an extra prop for the scrum and let somebody else take the line out than watch PJ Boerter feed the ball into the line out. I don't understand how you can be so bad at it. That's literally your core thing is your job. You have to be big for the scrum, hook it, and be able to put a ball into the line out. And you can't do that. This is hilarious. This is not hilarious. This is not. Do I look like I'm laughing? No, I'm suffering. But at least we got to put into a line out here. So hopefully we scrum them back in towards. Oh no, sure, it's actually line out, knock on from us. Big scrum needed. That was going to come, but they used it quickly. Harold Forster goes himself and loses the ball forward. Like Creel then tries to put the offload away. So it will now be a Lions scrum inside 22, where we're basically parked. In fact, we're paying rent now in 22 at this rate. The most frustrating thing, I think, as a Lions fan is to play against so many ex-Lions players. I mean, it's Jacques Van Ooren, it's Harold Forster, it's Donald Pooh. I don't really count Adosh Tumwe because I can understand why he left. He wasn't getting as much game time as he wanted to. Those two were starters. 3 were starters. Carl Brink could also, just be added to that list. I also never understood why we didn't sign him Bruce Pierre when he was out of favor at the Bulls, coming off the bench. But there's a long list of people the Lions should have, could have, never would have signed. Anyway, scrum in the 22. Big scrum needed here, lads. The match finished. No, as you can see, the scoreboard is still going, so we are still going strong here. Hughes now, big kind of shot because of the Bulls. Oh, my Fred Zelinger, get off the pitch! Get off the pitch! I'm honestly thinking about match fixing right now. I mean, how can you come in and be so poor in the first 10 minutes? And this is where I feel sorry for the coaching staff because, I mean, I don't because they're picking a hooker who can't throw the ball into the line out. But as a coaching staff, you get a scrum, you're inside your 22, you're under pressure, and the pressure comes in, so you say, right, we need to lose this. We were trying to find the penalty. Now we need to use this. It goes back, and Fred Zelinger just fumbles it forward and gifts the Bulls a line in the 5 meter. I mean, that's not even a coaching thing. That's just an individual horrendous mistake. All the Lions need is 2 tries and they'll be back in it. Yeah, look, I think they're about to need more than 2 tries. The Lions need Jordan Henderson back. The Lions need Vincent Stuka back. They need an inside center. I would low running into Yaka Creel. and they need a hooker. In fact, hooker's the biggest priority right now. We could also use another lock, to be honest. Jacques van Rooyen now. That's a big hit on him from Willem Alberts. Ball's gone loose. No knock on the according to Rasmus Wenger. Pick up and go now, making a few meters down Kobala. Lions defense being tested. Pick up and go. This is old-fashioned Bulls rugby, isn't it? Chance for you never fucking release that. That's a penalty advantage. I don't know how we haven't had a yellow card. The amount of penalties you can see today. The good news is the next match I'm a neutral, so I just get to laugh at whoever fan base lose. I'm going to be that guy. And over. This is what I'm saying. Like, why don't you just go to Rasta and say, listen, have a bonus point victory. Let's call the game. Let's go for beers. Because I've got better things to do than to watch them score tries as easy as they are right now. I definitely have better things to do. I mean, the irony of I think Willem Alberts is actually putting his hand up for the medic because he's not happy and he's dived over him. Ah, dear. Bruce says we had played well last week. We only need to perform at 70% of the level we played it last week. We would have walked this game. How's the performance drop so drastically in a week? I don't think we would have walked this. Oh, by the way, Willem Alberts is going off on a stretcher. So how's that, by the way? He scored a try by diving over the guy who's going off on a stretcher. Nice. No, we would have had to have played well today. This is a very good school side. They don't get much better than this in terms of the players that they can bring in. It's not like they've all the big names here. But we haven't pitched up. It's as simple as that. We haven't pitched up. Fun fact, by the way, we're still ahead of the Bulls in the log. If you want a silver lining, and I think we'd still be ahead of them even if we lose this match. Actually, let me check the table right now. Bulls currently sitting on 7 points. They'll go to 12, so they'll equal us. Right, so Willem Alberts has just come back from long-term injury and now he's off. So you know when I said that we also need a lock? Well, we really need a lock now. Peter Jansen and Furin is out for a while. Lions penalty. Come on, we move. And now Willem Alberts is gone. So, I mean, for a side that has no depth anyway, to now have Vincent Tuka sidelined. We've got no Burger Windal now, no Willem Alberts, no Peter Jansen van Furen, no Jakob Asaki. That's 5 starters, by the way. No Jordan Henderson at the moment, 6 starters. Anybody else we're missing? Jeez, like it. Well, Superior Mantanzima looked like he's gone 10 rounds with Mike Tyson and definitely lost that fight. Decent shift from him today. I thought he struggled a little bit at scrum time, which I don't think Lizo Koboka will. There's a rolling maul to be proud of. Come on, the lads. However, the Bulls have gone through and got their hands on that. The penalty advantage as well. Come on, the lads. We're Australia on the park as well. Come on, the dads. Son. Let's go. Warner. I think it was PJ Burton trying to make amends for his horrific lineup performance. Tian Swanepoel, horrible pass to Wandisila Similani. We could not play rugby if our lives depended on it right now. In the next match, you're on YouTube, but you'll at least see much better rugby. I'm not taking that. That's bait. You know that meme. That's bait. Nice try. I'm not going to stoop to such levels. Look, until last week, the Lions are the highest ranked side in South Africa. We're currently tied with the Stormers. We're behind the Sharks. The Bulls will now tie us unless we can find a bonus point. If we find a bonus point, though, we would actually still be ahead of the Bulls. So suck on that, boys. But yeah, look, I think I've got a better chance of playing for the Lions myself than getting a bonus point. Morgan O'Dear is on. The young loosehead, looking forward to see how he progresses on loan from the Pumas. Hey, it's a good line out there for Frankie Horn towards the back, and that's definitely been collapsed. Yeah, thank you, Rasta. Warner giving it to Fred. Fred in the inside line. Look at that. Warner to Morgan O'Dear. Morgan O'Dear! Oh, you're almost over. You almost looked like you had found a gap. Unfortunately, ran to Lisa Walker, and you don't want to do that. Pick up and go from Ruan Skuman, who is probably currently our only fit lock in the union. Ruan Strali being driven back. Still having a penalty advantage. Chaps, the only thing that we've got is an exciting backline. Penalty. We're going to see a yellow card. Silver Lions. We're moving, boys. We're moving. Here comes the comeback. I still haven't updated the scoreboard. We are substantially further behind than what it says. But Ruan Nokia is being binned for side entry. It was a pretty poor side entry, to be fair to him. So cheers, Ruan Nokia. Thank you for giving us a chance. Okay, you'd have to do more than that for us to give us a chance. You'd have to hand us the ball by your try line. But okay, so we kick to the corner again. Let me adjust the clock because we've got even more time to fetch points than this. We're now playing against the 40-man bull side. So are we ready, boys? Here we going. Silver Lions have enough beers to forget about this game. You're going to need a lot. This is what drives us all to drink. I know. I mean, how can you talk about us, that's a big more. That's a big more. That's a big more. That's a big more. Hey, come on. Here we go. Here comes the comeback. We're moving now, boys. We're moving. Here comes the comeback. Decker Creel the man as well. If you want something done, do it yourself. That's what I always say. I don't know why I think I'm unique in saying that. I mean, it's a pretty common phrase, but you know what? We got to take the small victories at the moment, don't we? We finally see a decent maul, by the way. That's the first maul we've seen in a while. The Lions hit back. Hey, you never know. Started a fight back. I like it. I like it. I mean, we're still, even if we get this conversion, we are still... we're still 17 points behind. Jan Swanepoel is now kicking. Good to see him back. Yeah, probably our first choice full back, actually. So if the turns our starting lineup, a lot of players we're missing. Jan Swanepoel strikes that straight down the middle. It's the one thing. If there's one thing he can do, it's kick. Where are these teams from? Johannesburg for the Lions and Pretoria for the Bulls. So is this the turning point, guys? Is this where the Lions suddenly come back from behind and seal one of the most epic comebacks you have ever seen? Could it be? And Bruce Pierre goes off and Zach Berger comes on. I mean, Zach Berger's better than our starting scrum off. Shame, Andrew Warner has scored 3 tries in 3 games, but I just don't think. I mean, his delivery today. Ironically, his delivery was worse in the first half, and Fred Zading was actually taking it, and it got better in the second half, and Fred Zading was stuffing it up. Frankie Horn once again from the restart. He's tried very hard today as Frankie Horn. Franco Horn, he's already captained the side a couple of outings. Captain against the British and Irish Lions. What a moment for him. Andrew Warner back to Tian Swanepoel, sitting in the fly-half channel. Now going on to run himself. Oh, look at Tian Swanepoel. I mean, he's basically the next Richie Mwanga, if we're being very honest about this. Back to Uro Yun, who is the next Stuart Hogg. Warner State, who's just old and retired, I mean, it's men against boys here, lads. Kurt Lawrence, here comes the chase. Uro Yun underneath it. Solid take. Solid take. International pedigree there. The ball's funneled back there. Andre Warner looking for some support. My goodness. And he almost gave it to Steenkamp, who would have literally just strolled over if he had taken that. Thankfully, it's a knock-on advantage. Lions back in that 22. Warner, just pass it wide and just run it from there. We might as well. Might as well just try and run it. What's the worst that happens? We drop the ball and they can score a try. It's going to happen anyway. But they go back to Swanepoel, who's going to release that cannon boot. Doesn't find touch. Madosh Tumwe tried it with a bit of takers, but missed it. So Morning State's got a bit of time to decide what to do. He launched it high in the air. This will be a tester for Evia for Yun if he can get there. Well, they both go up. It's a penalty. I mean, it's a knock-on advantage. Well, knock-on, so it's a scrum for the Lions. Jeepers, we just can't get ourselves out under pressure, can we? There's a good contest in the air, actually. Both going for it. Why are you blowing your whistle twice, Rasta? What are we doing now? What are we looking at here? Because if you've ever seen a contest for the ball, that is the literal definition of a contest for the ball. So if you want to try to find a penalty here, Rasta, you can take a hike. Try to find a weapon here that I can smack you with. I've got a ruler. I come armed. Are we closed down at the moment? What are we looking at here, Rasta? They both went up. They both basically had the ball. That's why it was a knock on, because they both basically had the ball in their hands. So why is the time? I mean, I know the time was for the injury, but what do you want to look at here? Or are we happy to continue with the scrum? Okay, thank you. We continue with the scrum. Jeepers, I was about to lose my temper. Complete stability is the call from my Rasta. The win prediction is 96% for the Bulls. Imagine you were to win with a 96% win prediction against us. The disrespect for us. Ivan Van Rooyen, I think, has got the facial expression that every Lions fan has got at the moment, and it's just a what the F is this? Like, what's happened? What have you guys done? You guys have shown me that you can play rugby. What have you just gone on and done on that field today? Where are we next week? We're in away next week, but who we joining against? It'll either be the Sharks or, I mean, it'll either be the West. I mean, the Stormers. It must be the Stormers. I mean, stupid. It must be the Stormers next week, probably in Cape Town. And then I think we start playing with away games. Oh no, we actually get the Bulls game next week. Oh goodness me! Right, so off the scrum, we've kicked it behind. And Madosh Tamwe has fumbled it. How many more times do you want to fumble it? That's got to be a knock on. Rasta, he fumbled in the goal area forward. Rasta, come on. He fumbled it 14 times, and when he was on the touchline, he was standing behind the ball. How was it not a knock on? So he fumbles it backwards, which is fine. There. That's a knock on. Thank you. Thank you. This is brought to you by Specsavers. We're basically the TMO here. They finally found the knock on. It'll be a 5-minute scrum for the Lions. Goodness me, if that had slid, we would have gone off, chaps. I mean, it was blatant. He fumbled it once, twice. It then goes sideways. He then still knocks it on, then picks it up and boots it. Hey. This is why I've got high blood pressure. This is why. Poor refereeing. This is the comeback here, lads. Now we scrum them over. Penalty try. Full 7 points. 17-10. 17-27. And we're moving. Come on, the lads. Imagine we scored you. I'll tell you, it would be goated. Bro, this is like rugby stand-up makes this cuck more bearable. Look, to be fair, it's pretty laughable in its. Oh, look at that scrum! Look at that scrum! We'll have a reset. It's fine. Look at that scrum. Bulls know that you're being out scrum. These all guys put Carly Sardi in a Springbok jersey. I don't know if they come in a big enough size, but if they do, get one ready for him because he demolished Imperial Mountainzima and now he's currently demolishing Lizo Koboka. He's a one-man wrecking ball. I think Carly Sardi is probably the weight of the Bulls pack, like the entire Bulls pack. I mean, look at him. He's just I mean, if I were to describe Carly Sardi, I would describing it as you basically take a fridge, you put it on wheels, and you like wheel it down a hill. That's what Carly Sardi is like in a scrum. Come on, big scrum, yeah, big scrum, yeah. Here comes the push. There comes the push. There's the push. Russ to give us the penalty here. I mean, we absolutely decimated them. No penalty advantage. It's come loose now. Tian Swanepoel's gone himself. Obviously in inside centre mode, even though he's playing in the fly-off channel. The ball's now gone loose. Christ, is it going to get any more messy? Somebody dive on it. Now now Fillion is now cleaning up. He's all the way back at the 10 meter under a lot of pressure here. But Rasta, how have we not gotten the penalty from that scrum? It's a knock on, and we're all the way back at the 10 meters. I don't understand how our pack, by the time the ball popped off to the side, we're basically sitting on the try line. No, don't take Carly Sardi off. Are you mad? I mean, I'm sorry. I'm going to take a screenshot because Ruan Dre has just walked on, who is a tight head. And next to Carly Sardi, he looks like a flipping scrum off. And you're taking Jack Creel off. Well, I suppose you can't take anybody else off because Emmanuel Stuka is not operating at lock. So see what Sanguini is on the park. Right, well, the Lions had very good scrums. Now, whether we can continue the momentum without Carly Sardi, we're about to find out. But I understand this. So initially, I get it. So it's stationary, and now, boom, the second shove comes in. I mean, it's a huge scrum there, and then it comes off the side there. Right, scrum time with a new front row. What are we going to do? What can we do? Ruan Drea, who is a penalty machine, unfortunately usually against us, but let's see what he can do. He's up against Lizo Koboka. Morgan Nodia is up against Robert Hunt. Was it still Jacques Van Rooyen's on the park? I mean, he looks pretty pale, so I'm assuming it's Jacques Van Rooyen. It's gone straight down the other side there. Yeah, penalty! Come on! Come on, Frankie, just smack Ulrich. We've got the talented 8th man. I mean, you know that the 8th man at every single union at the moment is under 23. I think actually under 22. Evan Roos, Pepsi Buthelezi, Franco Horn, Ulrich Lowe. They are all like 22 years old, basically. Chance Waterpool has found touch just shy of the 5 meter line. It's a good touch finder. It's what he does. Bread and butter. Ruan Drea with the scrum win against Lizo Koboka. Look at that, Albert. It was always going down. Down, down. Ah, there it goes. I just like how we've got the only thing that's exciting in this union is the likes of, like, I want to see the similarity, Edward van der Merwe, Ras McClana. And do we use them? Nah. Why would we want to use them? It's like having Peter Crouch and never putting the ball in the box in the air. Big more here. It's peeled off quite a lot, so I'm not quite sure what's going on here. We can't even begin to see where the ball is. It's still going. Oh, we've got a full moon out there. It's come down. The question is, can they recycle it? They're literally on the try line here. There's hands in there, Russ. That's why it's not coming back. There's still hands in there, Oaks. No ways! There's so many hands in there that are not allowed to be on there. I'm pretty sure he said call release. Ah, goodness me. Look, you don't have to release the ball, but I'm pretty sure he said there was tackle release because it also peeled away and then he went down. Here comes Ruan Nokia. Off topic, do you think the Blitz will win another tournament? 100%. 100% think that they will go all the way. Let me try and find the fixtures because we'll try and make sure we cover the playoffs tomorrow. I thought we thrashed Spain earlier, but I mean it is Spain. We're playing against USA at 5:25. Unfortunately, we can't do that game because we'll obviously be live for the Sharks versus Stormers game because apparently people support those teams. Oh, it's a big scrum from the Lions. Rasta, give it to us. Oh, come on. Amapu now carrying it strongly. Pick up and go from Onabuta, and he's lost the ball forward. Deliberate knockdown is the call. Franco Horn, discipline, chap, discipline. Okay, so Sunday. In fact, Joe, I think we'll try and do the ones tomorrow. I'll probably try and do the final tomorrow. So we will be doing sevens tomorrow. I actually didn't realize it was on the. I'm sure we didn't get a penalty at the scrum. I thought we had the dominance. Yeah, I back us to win another tournament. That sevens team is like the micro opposite to the Lions. Consistent. The Lions are about consistent as diarrhea. That's a horrible image. Why would you say that? It's true though. Right, Zach Berger, 2 Mornay Stain, 2 Harold Forster. Ball over the top to Lamapu. Lamapu decides to put the grubber in there. Raspaklana is trying to cover. Has he got the pace? He does get the pace. The question is, does it come off him or does it come off Madash Tamwe? Madash Tamwe is claiming it is a Bulls now inside the 22. Ish. And Ruan Nokia is back on the park. So we are down to 15 on 15. So the Lions scored 1 try. And shock and horror, the reason that gap was created is because Fred Zalinger broke early. You know, I think it's my fault because I said that Fred Zalinger was really settling in well. Yeah, so I can just keep tabs in the game. So yeah, no, so I'll put the sevens on the iPad over here, and I'll keep you updated. Unfortunately, if they just made the other match hop was 5, I would have had time to create a scoreboard. So I'll see what I can do. I thought the Lions were going to win a line out there. No, it's Marcel Garcia going on a marauding run. Morgan O'Deal was over the ball, but he didn't. I think he actually had the ball. Oh my living, and that's now bloody. It's another Steenkamp. I think it's Muller Ace actually. He's on the park, and Bulls are seconds away from the way that they're carrying that ball from scoring another try. Ah! Hey, knock on! Come on! It would be quite funny because at the moment the Bulls don't have a bonus point try, by the way. So at the moment we still be ahead of them on the log. I'll celebrate that, by the way. If we lose, Bulls fans can come after me as much as you want. I'll just sit there singing, score, log, take the log, chaps. Just check the log. You know, take the L. You're down there. I'll be 1 point behind us. Here comes Robert Hunt. I think, if I'm not mistaken, came through the club system. No, I think it's still Jacques on. Jan Kobelar has left the park. You're a true Lions fan. We start blaming ourselves when the team perform badly. Yeah, look, I mean, I do like to think of myself as a true Lions fan because I did have season tickets for the season where we didn't win a single game. So we been through it all. It's been a tough upbringing as a Lions fan, to be honest. I don't know what my parents did it to me. Decided to settle in Joburg. Life would have been a lot easier if we were that side of the XK. Short time free kick. Hey! Yeah, the scrums are the one sort of silver lining, isn't it? That is, commentators make a good point. How is it a short time free kick in the 70th minute for a scrum infringement? Surely that's a penalty, like just a straight long arm, cheers, picture the touchline, the Bulls win the line out. Because if you think PJ Buerta can't throw a ball in the lineup, wait till you see Mornay Brandon. Anything you can do, I can do even worse, apparently. I think he came in for his debut and had 3 lineouts in the last 10 minutes and lost all 3. It was stunning. Chaps, do me a favor. Just the last 10 minutes, let's just not concede a try. Because then we are still ahead of them on the log, and that would be funny. Because it wouldn't be like after a couple of matches. It would be after 7 matches, we'd still be ahead of them on the log. Like, lol. However, this is a long way to go. Ball over the top from Kane and Moody. which will thankfully run dead. Bulls playing very much the territory game here, which is weird because I think if they just held on to the ball for more than 5 phases, I think they'd find an opening quite easily. Because the Lions' one first time tackling has been pretty poor, to be very polite. All of it's not in straight. It's not in straight. Ivan, surely this is it. Surely you just sell him. I don't like. He either becomes a flank or yeah, there goes Mornay Brandon. I don't understand. Here comes Mornay Vandenberg, who I think is our best scrum off, but gets 8 minutes every time. Chaps, next week I want to see Mornay Vandenberg starting. I want to see who was the hooker for the Lions under 20s. I think it was Damon Fenter or something like that, or something Damon. Give him in. I will remember it eventually. Start him at hooker unless Yakawasaki's back. But if he's back, then put that under 20 guy on the bench. What other changes do we see? Matt Moore at inside centre. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see Tian Swan pull at full back. And I'd like to see Jordan Henderson back at five. I mean, that's a massive scrum from the Lions. Surely. Right? Oh my, don't. Oh, now it's wheeling. Why did you call it? He potentially just needs a lot of time. Hang on, who needs a lot of time? Because you're gonna come with PJ Buerta, like, come on. That's been an issue since last year, like June, and he hasn't sorted it out. And we're in February, so like he's had like 8 months. Like it's not like it was once or twice. I think he's lost 6 lineouts today. Everyone else I'll give time to though. I'm a big man I'm a big believer in giving time, but you gotta show me something here. Oh, contesting for the line out, and Mornay van den Berg has almost won it. It's a knock-on advantage. Bonus point here for the Bulls. Scrubby, Mornay van den Berg. Oh, yeah, no. Well, if you're talking about Mornay van den Berg and Andre Warner, I prefer Mornay van den Berg. I think he's a very nice player. First knockoff. Yeah, no, Mornay van den Berg is a very talented player. Andre Warner, yeah, I don't know about him. I think he's good. I don't think he's great. Whereas Mornay van den Berg excites me, and I think him and Jordan Hendricks as a combination excite me. It'd also be nice if we had Gianni Lombard back. It was Franklin Horn who made the knock on there, trying to win that line out. He tries hard as Frankie Horn. I think he's very raw. I think he needs to sort of brush up on a bit of discipline. But I think he's a player in there. I think he's a nice player that we can work with. That's the biggest thing. Show me something. Give me something I can work with. Now, we've been dominating this. I don't think there's been a single scrum where the Bulls are dominated. There have been scrums where they've been solid, but I don't think there's not at one stage has this line scrum gone backwards, which to me would tell you that Julian Reddinghays should probably be the next Springbok scrum coach. Huge call. But he goes and he brings these nobody props. Look, Carly Soddy was highly rated, but we bought him from the Stormers. He was about 4th in line. And Steve Torley as well was an all right prop, and he just turns them into scrummaging machines. What happened to Gianni? How did we lose him? Johan Ackerman, who built us to there and then left and decided to just cripple us. I mean, it's almost tough to actually still like him after the way he decimated this union. Good lead. Mornay van den Berg all over Ulrich Lowe. So they won the ball, but it's not a clean win there. Now Marcel could see you hang on there, Morgan O'Dear. Oh, Forster's going to go over the bloody bonus point. I mean, talk about a slap in the face. We made you, Harold Forster. You were nobody before us. And he's gone and put the bonus point try over. That sucks. That really does suck. Moy van den Berg did really well there to just jump all over Alred Lowe as he was about to take him. But yeah, and then just poor tackling, isn't it? What happened to Johnny? How did we lose him? Yeah, sorry, I already read that. I'm being stupid now. This is what this game's doing to me. Yeah, so he's over in Japan with Alton and Han Ackerman. It's like the Arcs or something like that. I don't know. I'm pissed off for that one. Because yeah, I don't know. And the weird thing is they kept talking about him in like press releases and never actually mentioned that he left. So literally, if I go right now and search the press releases that I've been getting from the Lions, I don't think you'll find a single communication to say that he's actually left. But Faf 2.0, yeah, look, there are a lot of similarities. Very much a live wire scrum off. He's blonde, he's small, he's a bit of a terrier type thing. Right, Tias Swanepoel just chipping off the kickoff. And we do win it back from the kickoff. Morning van den Berg has got it. Speak of the devil. That's definitely a penalty. I mean, I want to see a similarity. It's had maybe 2 touches the entire game. Why do we have him? What's the point? You have the most talented outside centre, young outside centre. We've actually got both, actually, because Henk van Wyk won the under 20 player of the year. So you've got the 2 most talented outside centres in the country, and we just choose not to use them. Look, Henk van Wyk's injured, but I would put him at inside centre and see what they can do. Or I would find an inside centre, play Henk van Wyk outside, and for the time being, play bloody Similani at fullback because he's the most exciting fullback we have. Tias Swanepoel's back, so hopefully he'll slot in at fullback. But we've got to get Jordan Henderson back on the park. So we've got a penalty, and we had kicked the corner. But the big thing that we could have prevented is the bonus point, which we have not. So we have now conceded that they will be the same points as us, which I will still argue. You know, how bad are you guys that you got all that money, all those players, and you're still even with us on the log? However, they can go ahead of us next week if they decimate us at Loftus. So, yeah, I better not speak too soon, shall I? And are we the early game next week? Like, sure, we were not the early game. We are the early game. Why don't we ever get to play at 5 o'clock? Even again, it's actually disrespectful. Anyway, we've won the line out. Morning, Brandon. Well done, Chief. It's looking like a terrible setup more, so we're going to have to try and create something here. But again, give it to the creativity in the backline and let's see what they can do. Fred Zalinger goes to Swanepoel, inside ball to Edward van der Merwe. He's got a lot of forwards around him. Does manage to spin around and gain a meter or 2. Quick ball from Morgan van den Berg to Morgan Ordeer, who rocks that sort of pull down socks look. Now Frankie Horn, big hit on him from Ruan Nokia. Look at the difference when Morgan van den Berg plays. Nice crisp delivery, quick delivery. There's Ruan Fenter, the exciting youngster. Go Ruan! Go Ruan! Yes, boy! Morgan van den Berg to Fred Zalinger. Fred Zalinger almost fumbles it because everything nice that we've done has been undone but in today. Solid carry from Ruan Strali. There's a scrum cap being tossed somewhere. I think it's Ruan Fenter's. Morgan van den Berg to Ruan Fenter again. You see, he's coming with initiative. He wants to change the game here. New advantage as well. Come on. Morgan Ordeer this time. Give it to the back line. We've got a free flip and roll the dice. Let's see what we can do. Swanepoel goes to Zalinger. Zalinger. Fred, just pass the damn ball. You have been our kryptonite. The Bulls haven't even been our kryptonite. You have been our kryptonite today. It's because I said he was playing well last week. I'm not a fan of these back-to-back games against the same team. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand why we wouldn't have changed it to have played the Stormers next week and then the Bulls. Look, I understand why we're having to do that because of obviously a lot of games that have changed. Because of the stupidity of the there he goes. Morgan Morgan Brown is tapped and gone. Yeah, Bismarck is trying to steal that ball from a different postcode. This time it was Ruan Fenter again. Right up there. Come on, consolation try. Consolation try. Ruan Australia has dropped the ball. Penalty though, so it will be a penalty. Hopefully a yellow card as well. Yeah, you put your hand up there. We've got a penalty though, so we'll have another go. But yeah, I mean, they've literally got 2 more matches. We've got 5th of February, then the 12th of February, and then we start to play the overseas team. So why not bring Stormers to next week, which we haven't played yet? Well, not consecutively anyway. I don't know. It's just so weird. I don't know. These organizers, I tell you, we can lend them a hand here. Right, we've tapped and gone. Try and get oh, it's short. You're short. The Bulls have turned it over. Of course, the Bulls have turned it over. Off the feet of the breakdown, though, so it's another penalty for the Lions. Come on! Come on! Come on! Give us a young consolation. We need it. Help us. Give us something. Throw a dog a bone. Throw a lion a lamb. Right, so we are into extra time there. Morne Brandon will tap and go again. And Morne van den Berg is now going to give it to Ruben Schoolman. Get off the field. Get off the field. Knock on. Final score 34-10. The Lions did not pitch up. That's the worst they've played the entire season. They have actually had reasonable games as well, so that's the frustration. But it has been a pretty disaster performance from the men from Johannesburg. Next week, they'll be off to Pretoria to take on the same side. We'll be live in about 9 minutes. Going to quickly do a review, and then we'll be up for the Stormers versus Sharks game. So come join us then. Please also make sure you subscribe on the way out, and we'll see you guys in a little bit.